Bill Ayres has AIDS. He has to be careful about catching even the slightest infection. That's because Bill won't die of AIDS itself, but of some other illness. AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, means that the body has lost the ability to defend itself. Even the common cold could prove fatal.
Do you get depressed?
Depressed, yes. Yes. Yes, like I think almost anybody would. It's not to do with AIDS, it's to do with the fact that I'm terminal. It's to do with the fact that I've been told that I've probably got not that long, and obviously there are things that I might vaguely regret, and there are things that I would like to do in the future which I won't be able to achieve. So of course I get depressed as much as anybody else would who was told that they didn't have very much longer to go.
Tonight on HELP we're looking at the myths and the facts about AIDS. For the last 2 years we've heard a lot about AIDS, but not all the information has been helpful or even true. Headlines like these have created fear and confusion in the minds of the general public, reinforcing the idea that we're all at risk of catching AIDS. So just how much do people actually know about it?
They've got no cure for it, have they?
I understand that women can get it, but I don't know how they get it.
They scared me very well, that to the point where I won't even drink coffee out of a cup with anybody, you know, that's how scared I am.
Well, I mean, people are dying so quick with it, aren't they, really? I mean, you've got to watch toilets and pubs and things like that, haven't you, really?
Well, I think it's a sort of thing that you have to have a relationship with somebody before you can catch AIDS. But most of my kids think that if you go and shake somebody's hand, you catch it.
For instance, saliva maybe on a cup or something like that. I think people will be worried, yes.
If somebody had it, I wouldn't like to work with it.
It's part of what the 1980s are about. You blame the people who basically run foul of the accepted norms.
I think a lot of the publicity has suggested that somehow it can be spread merely by looking at somebody who is gay, and that this, of course, is absolute nonsense, and what the press has not done by presenting it, for example, as the gay plague, is to put this into perspective.
Tony Whitehead is from the Terence Higgins Trust, a charity set up to advise and help on AIDS. Now, Tony, lots of confusion there. How do people catch AIDS?
Only through sexual intercourse with someone who is infectious or through infected blood and blood products.
Right, so all these fancy ideas about swimming in swimming pools and drinking out of cups are all completely wrong?
No evidence whatsoever.
Right. So who is most at risk at the moment?
It seems to be spreading most within the gay community, but haemophiliacs who have to have blood products are also at risk.
But both sexes can get it?
Yes, there are a growing number of women who are getting AIDS through sexual intercourse with people who are infected.
Right. It must be very worrying for gay people generally, the phenomenon of AIDS.
Yes, I think people are becoming increasingly frightened and increasingly confused, and I think the only way we're going to answer that is with a lot more education to enable them to come to terms with their fears and to show them ways in which they can perhaps change their sexual behaviour to minimise the risks to themselves and to their partners.
So you can give advice which can be helpful to anybody who is gay?
Yeah, we spend a lot of our time giving advice to gay people.
Right. Are there measures which are not being taken, which could be taken by the government to help?
Well, we need to have much more support for the kind of wide-ranging and very frank education which is required. And we're also concerned about the problems of the acute care in inner-city hospitals, which is an area of low priority at the present time, and yet where AIDS is going to hit hardest.
And needs more money.
Yeah,
right.
It definitely does.
Thank you very much. Well, together with the Terence Higgins Trust, we've produced a leaflet about AIDS that contains helpful and straightforward information for anybody who may be concerned and wants to know more. If you'd like a copy of this leaflet, you can ring us now on 01 388 2388. Members of the Trust will be here answering the phones for the next 2 hours. Or you can write to us for the leaflet to Help, AIDS, PO Box 4TD, London W1A 4TD.